Hello, it's Recky together with
Carol.
and welcome back for another reaction.
Yeah.
We feel like comedy.
Yeah, we want to laugh.
We want to laugh about things.
Yeah.
Because of the darkness that is our planet at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we thought we're gonna do something fun, and
we are 70 kids.
Yeah.
Kids, so
yeah. We're borderline 80s kids, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So this is Karen Morgan, and this is her own channel, and it says why 70s and 80s kids rule, the ultimate guide, and that's gonna be amazing. Let's find out why we rule.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always knew we ruled, but we'll find out. If you want to check it out by yourself, the link for Karen Morgan's comedy channel will be located down there in the description, as well for the video we're gonna watch. So just go there and give her the support that so much deserve. If you do enjoy this, hit the like, subscribe. That's something we would greatly appreciate. Thank you. You ready, honey?
Yes.
Do some comedy.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good point to do that now.
We are strong people. One of these things is that we are strong people. We didn't even need sunscreen. We just laid out on giant sheets of aluminum foil with baby oil and iodine. Hawaiian Tropic Red Label. We put our chairs up on the roof to get higher to the sun. And we only turned over when the radio station told us to. Right? We grew up in the way back seat of our mom's station wagon, just rear facing at the people behind us, just waving back there. Just waving. In Homewood Hills, our mom's station wagons were just aircraft carriers, just driving around there, launching kids left and right throughout the neighborhood. We had 12 kids in our carpool. 12 kids, 5 families, the Tillmans, the Barbers, the Kemps, and the Fowlers and us, 5 families. Nobody wore a seatbelt. Not even in the front seat. If your mom's arm wasn't strong enough, you deserved to go through the windshield.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. Back then, we didn't have helicopter parents. In fact, we had the opposite of helicopter parents, right? We did. We had Home Depot parents, where you think there should be someone working in the store that could help you, but there's no one around. You're on your own. This is Home Depot. Do you need a skill saw? There's only one left in the whole store, and it's way up there. So just grab yourself one of those rolling staircases, my friend, and crawl up there and get it yourself. But don't pull it over and cut your arm off, because no one will take you to the hospital. Here's what you get. Suck it up. Blow on it. Walk it off. Rub some dirt on it. Bleed over the sink. My mom's favorite was don't bleed on the shag carpet. And how about this one? Let the dog lick it, it'll heal faster. It's true. Nobody cared if we were bored. Nobody cared what our grades were. Nobody cared that we were eating lunch out of a lunchbox that was filled with unrefrigerated dairy products and rust. Who had a rusty lunchbox? Never going out of business. Nobody cared that we were being pummeled in the face by real red rubber dodgeballs. The real red rubber, not the little foamy baby ones they have now. Coach Mike's PE class. You get pummeled, you could smell the rubber coming at you. And it just went twang when it hit you in the face. And then you had a crosshatch print right on your forehead, right there. No one cared. Nobody cared about the trauma of sea monkeys. Who had sea monkeys? I'm still not over sea monkeys. I'm not over it. I paid my $1.25 out of the back of the comic book. I was supposed to get the whole sea monkey family. The mama sea monkey and the daddy sea monkey and the baby sea monkey and junior sea monkey. They had tails. They lived in a castle. And they were supposed to come live with me and I could teach them tricks. That's not what we got. That is not what I got in my mailbox at 192 Pendleton Drive. No, I got 3 envelopes filled with disappointment, deceit, and dehydrated brine shrimp. Just a fishbowl full of bugs. It was awful. Nobody cared that that woman on Romper Room never said my name. She never said my name. And I watched it all the time. I finally stopped and I started watching Officer Dawn instead. In the ooey gooey bag. It was much more fun. Nobody cared that we were being hurt on metal roller skates. The kind that clamped on your shoe, kind of like that, right? You didn't get hurt because you went fast, because you could not go fast because the metal on the concrete kind of went like this. So this was as fast as you could go, but about the third, your foot came up out of that clamp, right? But the metal skate was still attached to your ankle with a little belt. So the skate would ram you right in the shin and then knock you down. No one cared. No one cared that Lady Elaine Fairchild sounded a whole lot like Mr. Rogers. Right? Just, you know, he just used a high lady voice. It was very confusing. Or that she looked like she'd been throwing back a whole lot of Beefeater gin martinis. It's true. Where do you think she came up with boomerang, toomerang, seamerang? She was day drinking behind the museum go-round. No one cared. No one cared. Nobody cared that we were scared to death of Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka. He was scary as he sang that insane song while the Oompa Loompas rowed the boat faster and faster and faster down the Chocolate River into that tunnel where we saw a chicken getting its head chopped off and a millipede crawling over some lady's face. And then at the end of the movie, Willy Wonka screams at poor Charlie Bucket in Latin, trying to get out of a contract through a legal loophole. A contract which, by the way, was not binding to begin with, because you can't enter a contract with a minor. But I didn't know that then yet, because I had gone to law school because I was 8. All I knew was that Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka was very, very scary. Even just going to the movies back then was very different, right? We went by ourselves, right? Either our moms dropped us off, we rode our bikes, we walked up there. So if the movie was like G or PG, no problem. Here's some PG movies they have now. Moana, Monsters, Inc., Frozen is PG. Here's a PG movie I watched as a child. Jaws.
Yep. My favorite movie.
Jaws was PG. Oh, I didn't go by myself. I went with my neighbor.
PG is parental guidance.
I know.
So that if the parent says it's okay, you can do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, I watch a lot. That's incredible. I really love the way she is. She's telling the jokes too.
Yeah, I remember just that with the TV series V.
Yeah.
I didn't allow to watch that when I was a kid, but I always try to, and I happened to see one episode or one clip when she rips her skin off. Yeah. And it scared me to death. Yeah. My mother just, I told you. I was actually
hiding behind the door frame. Yeah. I did like this because I wanted to see it. By the time I did this, he did this. And I yelled out screaming. And my mom and dad said, "Buddy, go to bed." Yeah. It's not like they talked to me about my experience. They said, "Just go to bed."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Margie Hodges, I was 11, she was 9. Our mothers just dropped us off up at Beechwood Cinemas, right, with $5 and said, "Have a great afternoon." So we went into Beechwood Cinemas and we bought our popcorn and our Raisinets and our Junior Mints and our Cokes. It was summer and there was not many people in there. It was just kind of us, and we went halfway down and halfway across. And Margie said to me, "Well, what's this movie about?" I said, "I don't even know. I think it's something about going to the beach." Had we bothered to look at the movie poster on the way in there, we would have seen it say, "The terrifying movie from the #1 terrifying bestseller, Over the Giant Shark." But we didn't look at the poster. No. Our moms certainly didn't see the poster. They didn't even get out of the car. And in their defense, that back then PG-13 had not been invented yet. It wouldn't be invented until 1984. So I guess they thought it was okay for an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old to see Jaws by themselves. It was not okay. No, it was not. It's still not okay. I was okay at the beginning of the film, like when the music first starts. I was okay. I was okay when pieces of Chrissy Watkins washed up on the beach. I was even okay when Alex Kittner got eaten in a spew of blood and rubber raft. I was okay. But I began to not be okay when Richard Dreyfuss was scuba diving at night and he's under that boat and the disembodied head of Ben Gardner rolled out of that boat onto Richard Dreyfuss. I thought to myself, I may not should be here. This might not be okay for me. And then when the little crab crawled out of the eyeball socket of Ben Gardner's disembodied head, I jumped into the seat with Margie Hodges, where I remained the rest of the movie. Now, you might remember that the shark, you don't even see the shark until an hour and a half into that film. An hour and a half. So the music is what's scary and suspenseful, right? So I remember sticking my fingers in my ears and my thumbs in my eyeballs and just smashing. I'm amazed I have vision, quite honestly. So towards the end of the movie, you finally see the whole shark, and he's chewing up Quint as the boat is sinking, right? And I turned to Margie, I'm like, see, it's not even real. So the very end of the movie, the shark explodes. Right? Spoiler alert, 1975 movie, shark explodes. We jumped up out of our seats and our popcorn went everywhere. We dropped our coats. We were not cheering because Richard Dreyfuss and Roy Scheider had survived. We were cheering because we had survived. We're never going out of business. Back then, school made us stronger. School made us. I'm going to show you this. I'm not giving you the finger, but I'm showing you. This is a permanent callus from a big black pencil from Miss Joyce Green's first grade class when we learned cursive. Right? There it is, right there. We our pencil boxes were actual cigar boxes. No one cared. Nobody cared. Later on, we just got high as kites off of mimeograph paper. That was fun. Mrs. Faircloth would say, who wants to volunteer to go pick up the worksheets in the office? And I was like, me! Me! And you'd pick them up from the office and they were still wet. And just all the way back. So good. Some of y'all sniffed some paper, I can tell. Bunch of paper sniffers. Our school did not have a school nurse. We just had a secretary who, if you got sick or hurt, you just sort of sat over in the teacher's lounge while they were smoking. And then the secretary spent a long time trying to find your mother in the days before cell phones or answering machines. You could be there all day long. And mental health was not a thing at all. Nobody even knew what that was. And this was later on. I remember being in science class when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded and everybody on board perished. My science teacher just turned off the television and went, okay, everybody turn to chapter 8, mitochondria. And we just went on with our day. Nobody came to our athletic practices. Nobody brought sliced oranges. And certainly no one was creating a play date for us, right? At 8 o'clock in the morning, here's how my mom did a play date. Y'all go outside and play. Boom, she'd lock the door. We were out there all day. We didn't have anything to eat. We didn't have anything to drink. We didn't have a juice box or any goldfish crackers. If we were thirsty, we drank out of the hose. Never going out of business, y'all. And the water was hot, by the way. And what were we doing outside all day? Well, we were trying to kill each other. We had rock fights. We had dirt clog fights. We had green pine cone fights. And we had BB gun fights. Right? We were shooting each other directly with BB guns. Our parents knew it, and no one cared. They bought the BBs. And on special occasions, we would ramp up to Roman candle wars or bottle rocket wars, and all my dad ever said was, don't shoot each other directly in the eye.
Yeah, I remember that.
Someday you might have to have an MRI. We made Evel Knievel bike ramps out of plywood and cinder blocks. Right? Nobody wore a helmet. No. We're all still here. We wandered around our neighborhood like little hobos just for hours and hours. One time, Ashley Farrell and I were in Homewood Hills. We wandered so far away. We got real tired. We asked the Charlie Chip delivery van guy for a ride home. I said, we're tired. He said, get in the van. I got chips. So we went in. And he drove us home, and my mom just said, thanks. You know, it was no big deal. It was a very different time.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes my mom would give us money, and she would say, hey, I'll give y'all some money if you'll go down to Golden Pantry and get me some. Cigarettes. Thank you. Cigarettes. She said, y'all can get your candy. You can get my cigarettes. I could go in. This was the best. I could go in. I was 8 years old. Walk in there and say, I'd like to buy 3 cartons of Menthol 100 Ultra Lights, please. And they would sell them to me.
Yeah.
At some point, you had to have a note, right? Your mom had to write a note, and my mom would just write, Dear Store. Sell my child 3 cartons of cigarettes. Love, Mom. And she would give us the money. She would not let us back in the house. She would slide it under the door. We were not coming back in there. She was watching Dark Shadows, and we were not allowed to watch that. So we would leave our yard unattended with no bike helmets and no bubble wrap, and we would leave. And we would go to the candy store, the Golden Pantry, and we'd stop on the way down there at the playground. Very different playground from my kids' Gen Z playground that has wood chips on the ground. In case the child falls, they won't get a little bruise on them, right? What we have? Just a giant sheet of cement. You fell, you broke your arm, suck it up, welcome to the playground. We had equipment that would kill you. We had that swing set that came up out of the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would kill you. We had that merry-go-round thing that would go, and he'd run, and there was always one friend that just didn't make it. They got like sucked into the rain hole somehow. Like, save yourself. We had the spring horse thing, and it would go all the way to it hit the back of your head, and then it would fling you forward, and you'd hit your face. Hit your head. Hit your face. Our horsey part came off. We had a metal knob. It just went back and forth. Oh my God. And we had a slide that was so different. My kids' Gen Z slide is at an angle like that. Ends at a little soft pile of wood chips. We all had that giant metal slide, just 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
Just sat there in the sunshine. Just heating up. Athens, Georgia in August. It wasn't even a slide anymore. It was just a broiler pan for your ass. So we would take our burns and our wounds from the playground, and we would go on down to the candy store, and we would go down there. And candy was very different back then. Candy was mean to children. It was mean to us. We had atomic fireballs, lemon heads, just pixie sticks. Just, it was just a straw filled with sand and sugar. Just, right? And you would eat it like this, and then your spit would seal the end. So then you have to eat the paper and everything. Right? We had the entire family of wax candies. Wax lips and bottles. 4 bottles, 4 colors, tasted all exactly the same. You bite off the top and you suck out that really yummy juice, right? And then you're supposed to chew on the bottle, which was like eating a birthday candle. Yum. There was a family of wax paper wrapped candies, like a Now-Later or a Bit of Honey, and you could almost get all the paper off. But there was always that one piece in the machine just jammed up in there, so what do we do with that? Eat it. Yes, we did. We're eating wax. We're eating paper. And don't get me started on that toilet paper roll with the dots on it. Don't get me started on that. That's just mean to children. Mean. And then there was the family of jewelry candy. Oh, it was awesome. Ring pops. We were engaged. And then there was a candy necklace that came on a rubber band about that big. You kind of got it over your head. And then you eat like this.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So you just had a rainbow of spits. Just a spit rainbow coming all down you. And then your friend would come over and bite one off and her spits on you too. So then we'd go around and we would get my mom's real cigarettes and we'd get our candy cigarettes, which they don't sell now because it might lead to smoking. And my favorite two kinds were the hard white stick that had red on the end because someone painted fire on that for us to eat. And then the bubblegum kind you could pull out and blow real smoke. Right, so we would just stand out there in front of the golden pantry, just smoking our candy cigarettes and wearing our candy jewelry. We were just little candy hookers and no one knew where we were. But it was the best of times. It was the best place to grow up, right here in Athens, Georgia.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. Goodness. Absolutely divine. She was amazing. My days. I'm actually...
I haven't laughed so much. That was on spot.
Yeah.
Really.
Of course, there was an American childhood, but it was actually very similar.
Yeah, I mean,
we didn't have lunch boxes though. We ate in school.
Exactly. The school lunch is included.
But I do remember everything about it. I loved every second. I mean, we were always in the woods. We were always outside.
I mean, the freedom that we had actually.
Yeah, I remember we were lived in a very big apartment. Wasteland. There was a complete wasteland, and I could be on the other side. And at 4:30 we ate. And if you were not home at 4:30, there's no food for you. And I remember my dad. He was the expert whistler. He didn't do this or this. He just used a normal whistle, and I could hear it from anywhere I was in the apartment wasteland. And I ran home. Because if I didn't get home, he would not get. I would not get any food.
I grew up in a house in the countryside, or what it calls, and I was out in the woods all day and night. My mom just stood on the porch and just, Carol. It was.
The one thing she says is something that caught my attention. No one cared.
Nope.
No one cared. I mean, we were, of course, if something happened, they would help us.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the way they do now.
No. And just the freedom to be a kid, to find out for yourself.
What hurts and
No, but
swings. I remember the swing we had. On the front pole was not in the hole anymore. It just came off. So slides.
The slides. Yeah. Oh my God! I have hurt myself so much. I broke teeth and I burned myself really bad. But I mean,
I used to what do you call these skates? I was going down a slide. And it was a wide slide, and I was thinking it was a good idea to do this. But it got stuck. And it just chipped my tooth. I think it just knocked my tooth out.
Yeah.
And there was blood everywhere. I can't remember what happened,
but I mean, we survived.
We definitely survived.
We don't have any kids, so we can't. But you work in a school, so you have that perspective.
It's just awful today.
Yeah, it is a bit too much.
Just really frustrated. I absolutely loved this.
Yeah,
she was
fun.
An amazing. She was really good at pinpointing even though it was
I remember the chocolate cigarettes and the jewelry.
I remember when we actually bought, and when they actually came came out smoking. I was super wow. And I started smoking at 12. So
Me too. Me too. But both my mother and father smoked. So,
same here.
But for me it was
menthol cigarettes too. I love when she said that.
Yeah, menthol. Yeah.
Mama smoked menthol.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. It was a thing in the 70s and 80s. Women were smoking
but I did
menthol.
when I smoked too.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I didn't smoke menthol. I smoked. They were called Prince.
Yeah, I blend.
Yeah.
And the other one. Yeah, the other one. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I haven't. Yeah. Never mind. I love this. It was
such a treat.
A reminder. I got the childish feeling.
And I got a bit sad.
Me too, actually.
I got emotional, and
me too.
It was a nice time back then.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was actually.
We didn't know anything about the rest of the world.
No, exactly. You didn't have all these impressions around you. You just were in your world, and.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, if you were a 70s or 80s kid, let us know if you feel the same way what we do, and just share. And let us know if you're 60s and 50s or even 40s. That's a huge difference right there, I'll tell you that. That's it.
Yeah.
A big thank you to everyone who supports us on Patreon and, of course, channel membership. No matter what tier, you guys are completely amazing. Same goes to the PayPalers, the GoFundMeers, Super Thankers, and, of course, the best community ever on the tube. You guys in the comment section. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to check her out, the link for her channel and, of course, the video will be located right down there in the description.
Yeah.
Go there and give her the support that she so much deserves.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So much for watching. I'm Recky.
And I'm Carol.
You.
Stay safe.